So he put the dye in the catheter. That's when he flushes the dye through. I know they take pictures of inside the uterus and all. He had a syringe. Welcome back to my channel. So today, guys, I know you see the title, I am currently on my TTC journey, and with that said, basically, you know, girl, I got to check out if girl alright down there, so because I've never got pregnant before and I'm not getting younger. So my husband and I decided that, you know, we're ready to have kids, and so I decided to go to the doctor and do some checkups and make sure that everything is perfectly okay. So guys, this is basically a video explaining to you my experience that I went through doing a HSG. So if you would love to hear my experience, just stick around to hear that. But before you do, guys, I want y'all to like this video. If you're new and you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you're a returnee and you haven't already subscribed, what are you waiting for, hon? Please click that link also to be notified whenever I post new content. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so before I get into all of that, I know some of you might know the term and some of you might not know the term. Now, what is HSG? HSG is the acronym for hysterosalpingography. Hysterosalpingography, right? Now, hysterosalpingography is an X-ray procedure that is done to see basically inside of the uterus and the fallopian tubes, and it also shows whether the uterus is of normal size and shape. Okay, so that's basically what the HSG is. Now let's move forward. Okay guys, let's take a step back it up. Okay, now before it's recommended for you to go ahead and do a HSG test, you have to make sure that you're healthy. And the reason for this, check this out. If you have an STI and you go ahead and do a HSG test, first of all, I'm looking for something that I can use. Sorry, let me grab this pen. First of all, they're pushing something inside of you, right? That will go right up into the uterus and, you know, up to the fallopian tubes or whatnot. So say it's a case where you have an infection, right? And you push that, whatever the thing they push inside you, into your uterus, and it go all the way up into your your fallopian tubes. If you have an infection, right, and you do that, you're basically, it's a possibility that you could push the infection right up into your uterus, and possibly it could get into your fallopian tubes, and we don't want that, because that's trouble. That's another trouble. Okay, so in order to avoid that, it's recommended, your doctor would have sent you to do like an STI panel just to check and make sure that you're good. Okay, so that's first things first. Okay, so let's fast track back now to my experience. So guys, before I get into talking about my experience, before I went there to actually do it, I was terrified, And you know why I was terrified? And let me tell you, do not be terrified, do not be frightened, do not be scared, because everybody's experience is different. And I was so terrified because I watch, like, I do my research, and I also watch other YouTubers who had done the HSG test, and most of them were saying it was painful. And there was this person who I talked to, and she said she had done it a year ago, and I asked her, like, how was the pain, like on a scale of 1 to 10, and she said past 10. Child, me want to cancel the appointment. Like, it was so nerve-wracking to the point where me never bother want to do it, because I have zero pain tolerance, like none. So anyway, I prayed about it and just, you know, say it is what it is. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Okay, so back into what you're here for, the experience. So I went to my gynecologist and I told her that, you know, we are ready to, you know, have a baby, right? And she sent me to do, like I said, she sent me to do an STI panel and an hormone test. So I went ahead and I done a estrogenic hormone test. Now this test is done to show whether you have hormone imbalances, basically. So yeah, so that's that. I went ahead and did that, and like an entire STI panel. So, you know, the result went back to my doctor. She called me, I went in, she said everything is fine. It was just like a huge relief for me, because I really wanted to get the HSG done, and that was a green light for me. She gave me the go to do an HSG test and also the ultrasound. Now on the day when I went to the doctor, I was actually on my period, I was menstruating. So she said it's the perfect time to call the place. When you are doing the HSG test, it is recommended that you call when you're on your period, because they will then ask you when your period started, and then I think they normally give you a date like within 5 to 10 days after your period is done. And I think they do this because they do not want to do this kind of procedure while you're pregnant. So they want to make sure that you are not pregnant. Because if you are pregnant and you go ahead and do the HSG test, it is a possibility, highly possible, that you're going to have a miscarriage. Or if not, and the baby did develop, it can be, maybe the baby is not going to born healthy, or it's going to born deformative or something of that sort, and you don't want that. So they make sure that you're not pregnant. I think that's the reason why they do that. That's just in my opinion. I'm not sure if I'm right, so don't quote me on that. However, so I called them, I made my appointment, and I got an appointment like 2 days before the ultrasound appointment. So I wanted to do the ultrasound first, but whatever. So anyway, I went to do that, and I did that actually yesterday. So I'm filming this is the next day that I'm filming, right? So my doctor gave me the referral. She recommended a place which is Apex here in Jamaica, and she recommended a few other, well, she told me about a few other places, but I just called Apex, the first one that she recommended. And when I called him to book the appointment, they said that I should buy something at the pharmacy. Now this, what I bought at the pharmacy, they said that I should take it 4 hours before my appointment. Now this thing that I bought at the pharmacy, hold on, it's called glycerine suppositories, and it's a laxative. Now this allows you to free your bowel basically. So within like 5 to 10 minutes the most, after using this, after using the laxative, you'd want to go to the toilet. You'd want to go to the toilet. And I wanted to ask, actually I planned to ask the radiologist why I had to take that, but I had so many questions. I was asking so many questions, I didn't even remember to ask about that. So I don't really know why they want you to go there with a free bowel. But that was that. I did that. My appointment was 11 a.m. the day, and I woke up at about after 6, and I used the laxative 7 o'clock because I said 4 hours before the appointment. I took the laxative 7 o'clock, and by 7:05 I'm on the toilet. And child, you see, after I'm done, it's a good feeling. I just feel light, and it's just a good feeling, and I like that. I was wondering, what I wonder is if when I'm on my way to the place, because I was like 3 hours away from it, and I wonder if when I'm on my way, I go feel like I want to use the toilet. But no, it was just that one time, well, at least for me, just that one time, and I'm good. So I did that, and they say after I use a laxative, I should eat something light, like maybe drink some juice or a patty or a sandwich or something like that. But what I did, I got up and I made me an egg sandwich, and after I left the toilet, I showered and whatnot, and then I had my sandwich, and then I got ready and went on my journey, because like I said, it was like a 3-hour ride for me. But yeah, that was that on that. So when I reached there, I went to the front desk and I told her I'm here for my 11 o'clock appointment. They asked me for the referral. I gave it to her. She gave me basically like a HSG fact sheet. It's basically like a consent form laying out the common risks and complications and explaining what the process is about. It's just basically a form for me to sign saying that I'm giving them the permission to go ahead and do this procedure on me. So I had to sign away on that. So I did that, and then I went in. So when I went in, I talked to the radiologist assistant. I would say he's an assistant, or I don't know if he's a nurse or something of that sort. I don't know. But it was 2 of them. But before the doctor or the radiologist came in, he went over the entire process, what's going to take place, and explained everything to me. And that's when I asked all the questions that was in my head, and he answered them. They were very nice. He was very nice, and I understood him clearly the way he explained things, and that was good. One thing I wanted to do that I couldn't have done was to talk to my husband on the phone while, like, during the procedure, because he knew that I was really terrified based on like researches that I done and people telling me, oh, it's painful and all of that. So he wanted to be on the phone whilst, you know, it was being done, but the doctor said no, we can't do that, because normally what they do, they talk to me, like they talk to the patient, rather, whoever it is, they talk to the patient while they're doing it. Like if they're about to put whatever they're doing, they talk to you along the process. So probably that's why they didn't recommend that you be on the phone with somebody else. Okay, so yeah, or maybe they didn't want any distractions, which is understandable. So the assistant, I'm going to call him assistant, he gave me you know, like them surgery kind of gown. He gave me that, and he said that there was a bathroom next to the room. He gave me that, and he said that I should go take off everything and put on that gown. So I should only be wearing that gown and then take a pee, right? So I went into the bathroom. They had like racks where you could hang up your clothes and place where you could put your handbag or your belongings. And so I changed everything, take a pee, put on the gown, wash my hands and all of that, and went back into the room. Now when I went back into the room, now he went ahead and called the radiologist, and then he came in. When he came in, now he was talking to me nice, and he was saying, you know, to relax, and it's a quick process and whatnot. So they were really nice. They made me feel comfortable, and yeah. So I'm going to explain in detail the best way I can what they did, like how the procedure went basically. Okay, so I laid on the, I wouldn't say it's a bed, it's like a, I took a video, so I'm going to show you guys. So I lay down on this thing, and I was in a position like, you know, when you're doing pap smear, that kind of position. And the first thing he did was, guys, I really don't remember these scientific names, but I can describe it. So he rubbed this, it was, I didn't see it, but it felt like a gel-like thing, but it was cold, and he rubbed it like on my vulva, or the entire outside of the vagina and my vulva. So he rubbed that there first, and then, you know that thing with the screw, I think they use it when you're doing pap smear as well, ladies. You'll know what I'm talking about. So when he inserted that inside the vagina, it has like screws where when you push it inside, the screws of it, like, so this is, all right, I'm gonna call this the cervix, and out here so is the vagina. So when he put the thing in the vagina here, and it like, the screw kind of open it up like that, yeah, and then he left it there, but it's open. And then he have this tube thing, I think it's called the catheter, I don't know, something like that. And he pushed the tube with like a balloon thingy, so he pushed it through the cervix, so you know it would enter the uterus. So he had a syringe with the dye, so he put the dye in the catheter, and then when the catheter enter through the cervix and into the uterus, and probably a little bit up to into the fallopian tube, that's when he flushes the dye through the catheter. And I wasn't feeling any, guys, I didn't feel a thing, like I didn't feel anything. He said that I might feel like cramping or pain when the balloon inflates, but I didn't feel anything. So they let out the dye, and the dye runs through, and they put something over me. I think that's what they use to take like pictures. I don't know if they do videos as well, but I know they take pictures of inside the uterus and all that's happening. Yeah, so I guess that's the result they sent back with, maybe an explanation or whatever to your doctor. But then and there, he told me my results, but you know, I would have to talk to my doctor as well about it. So that was it. And when he said all done, I was like, already? I didn't even feel a pain. I mean, this, yeah, what I did around it, I mean, yeah, when the man start putting the something, because me, I said, oh my God, I'm about to feel so much pain. But it wasn't like that. I didn't feel any pain. But I think people who feel pain are persons whose fallopian tubes are partially or fully blocked, because then it would be more pressure on, if you get what I'm saying. So that wasn't for me. He said my uterus was beautiful and it's perfect, and that was like awesome news, guys. That I was so happy. I kept saying thank you guys, thank you. I was so overwhelmed and happy that everything was good, because for a minute, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was blocked. But anyway, that was good and I felt great, and I was eager to call my husband and tell him. But anyway, they said that, you know, I should go to the bathroom. Oh, I forgot. They told me to bring a sanitary napkin, a pad, because sometimes after the procedure you can bleed, and obviously the dye or the liquid is going to run back out. So I went back to the bathroom, cleaned up myself, and I put on my pad to go home. He said that it's okay if I was spotting for a day or two, that's normal, but he said that if it passed 2 days I should go see my doctor. But guys, luckily when I came home, I wore my pad home, just a few spotting yesterday, and the dye ran back out, and that was it. Today is the next day. I'm perfectly fine. The only thing I could say, I was a bit bloated, and maybe that's due to the balloon, because you know the hair, and then it have to loose out to come out back, so probably that's why I was bloated last night. But I'm perfectly fine today. So that was basically my experience and the result that I got. Obviously I haven't seen my doctor yet, because I did the procedure yesterday and I'm filming the next day. So yeah, that's basically what I went through. I forgot to mention that it's recommended for one to take some sort of ibuprofen because of the pain, they say. And I brought a pack of Advil with me, because I said to myself I was going to take it. But guys, I didn't remember anything about taking the pill, and the pill did in my bag. And when we reaching at the place, I said, oh damn, I never remember to take the pill. That's how when them already start doing what them I do. So, but luckily I didn't feel any pain, and I could say that maybe if me did take the ibuprofen, that would I probably think that it why me not feel no pain, but I went under it naturally. So yeah, that's that. So I don't think I'm leaving out anything. That's pretty much my experience, and I'm so happy that everything is okay so far. And yeah, so I'm just excited to be on this TTC journey. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope this could help someone out there, because guys, the reason why I also decided to do this video, I was researching to see persons talking about their experience, and I know other persons out there are probably doing the same, because trust me, it is very helpful. Sometimes it can be nerve-wracking when you hear some people saying they feel pain, but trust me, it won't be everybody that feels the pain. And luckily, I wasn't one of those persons. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was informative for you, and you know you enjoyed these videos. Remember to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit on the bell for post notification, so that you'll be notified whenever I post future contents. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.